Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call to order the March 2nd, 2016 meeting of the Frederick County Planning Commission. And before we begin, would you join us in a moment of silence, please? Thank you very much. The agenda is as prepared.
Move for adoption.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We have minutes from February the 3rd.
Move for adoption of the minutes. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Committee reports, let's see. I think that we will begin with Mr. Unger with the DRC, Development Review and Regulations Committee.
February the 11th. We had election of officers. They stayed the same. It was myself as chairman and Kevin Crozen as vice chair. We had dedication of public utility lots or rural preservation lots. We can't do anything on rural preservation lots, but we've got sanitation authority. Maybe we'll want to put a water tank on one of these lots, and we talked about it, didn't see where it would be a problem. And pretty much everybody was in agreement with that, so it'll be coming to Planning Commission to talk about that. The other thing they wanted to do, we had someone that had B2, B3, in the B2, B3 district that wanted to do a conditional use permit for a flea market. We discussed that and kind of thought that was sort of downgrading B2 because it wasn't going to be paved and was just going to be outside with tables and things, and probably thought that wouldn't be a good idea. So pretty much everybody didn't like that, so it'll be coming, we'll be talking about it, but I doubt that we didn't like it anyway. So, and that's all we have.
Thank you, sir. I do believe that's our committees. I would like to welcome Steve Slaughter from the City of Winchester Planning Commission, the chairman.
Thank you.
Do you have a report for us?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a very brief report. We don't have much going on in the city. We do have one public hearing item for our next meeting. We're going to be considering our changes to our PUD zoning ordinance, where we are going to lessen the maximum density allowed, but we're going to allow bonus density percentages that are tied specifically to certain aspects of the development. And that's it.
Thank you so much. And Mr. Blaine Dunn from the Board of Supervisors.
Madam Chairman, the board approved a permit for a lawn festival at Opegan Presbyterian Church. They also went and approved the rezoning for the Isaac Walton Shotgun Range.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. All righty. This is the time in our agenda if there's any citizens who would like to speak to us about anything, except for a public hearing, which is coming next. So, seeing none, we will close the citizen comment portion. Our item tonight is a public hearing item, and it's rezoning 01-16 for 84 Lumber, submitted by Pierce Hardy Limited Partnership to rezone 10 acres from B3 Industrial Transition District with proffers to the M1 Light Industrial District with proffers. The property is located at 240 Yardmaster Court off Martinsburg Pike, Route 11 North, in the Stonewall Magisterial District, and is identified by property identification number 44-A75B. Mrs. Perkins.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, members of the commission. As you stated, this is a rezoning application to rezone 10 acres from the B3 district to the M1 district with proffers. The site's located at 240 Yardmaster Court. It's at the end of the cul-de-sac. Yardmaster Court intersects with Martinsburg Pike, Route 11 North. Now, this application proposes to revise the proffers from rezoning number 2 of 2005 to allow the site to be used as a truss manufacturing plant. This, on the location map on the screen to your left, as you can see, here's Yardmaster Court. The site is outlined in black, and you have Interstate 81 that runs towards the rear of the site. Now, just a little background, rezoning. 2 of 05 originally rezoned the entire property from the RA district to the B3 district. Included in that application was a building cap for the entire site of 555,000 square feet. There are some use limitations for office, building and lumber stores, wholesale warehouse, and self-storage facilities. And then there was also a maximum vehicle trip per day of 4,603 for the entire development. Now, the proffer revision before you for the 10-acre site, it restricts the trips per day to 1,393, which is consistent with the approved 84 lumber site plan that was approved a number of years ago. And there's a use restriction for the truss manufacturing plant because they have property site plan. Now, this is just a little excerpt that shows the trips and actually how it was originally calculated on the site plan for the building materials store, which is the 1,300 trips. And then at the bottom, you can see actually what they would be coming in at with the manufacturing. So it's a pretty big reduction in their trips and what they're proposing. I would note that the Northeast Land Use Plan identifies the property with a commercial land use designation. Now, while the requested industrial zoning before you is inconsistent with the comprehensive plan, the proposed use is generally consistent with the commercial designation, and it's very restrictive, and it's assured through the proffer statement. Now, as I stated, the truss manufacturing, it's still 84 Lumber is the company, and it's relatively similar to their lumber yard that they had before. However, manufacturing of trusses is not allowed in the B3. It's an M1 use. So they have proffered the site plan, which limits the use to the truss manufacturing facility, which is shown in proffer 1. So therefore, the impacts associated with the change have been limited by that proffer statement. So and this is just a excerpt. It's in your agenda. It's a copy of the proffered site plan. It's consistent with the approved site plan for the 84 Lumber facility as far as the access, parking, building layout. So tonight, following the public hearing, we are seeking a recommendation from the commission to forward to the board. I would be glad to answer any questions, and the applicant is here should you have questions for them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Mrs. Burkett? Yes, Mr. Unger?
Candace, are they going to open the store back up also, or just use it for truss plant?
Truss manufacturing.
Okay.
Anyone else? Thank you. I'm sorry.
Just to
Mr.
be
Rhodes.
clear, they can't open up a store for 71, right?
Correct. The lumberyard's not permitted in the M1.
The applicant is here. Would we have any questions for them? Any at all? Would you like to say anything? Come on.
My name's Frank Elcha. I'm in charge of the components manufacturing facilities. And I think it would be a very good endeavor for us to open up a facility here. I think one of the things that I think that we're lacking is an area in this community to employ some people that will, help the community grow. So we think that we're going to put about 70 people to work in this facility. So I think it'll be, help the area prosper a little bit.
Right.
As
Yes.
Frank said, my name is Debbie Schwab. I'm real estate counsel.
Would you get closer a little bit to the, there you go. That's fine.
Again, my name is Debbie Schwab. I'm real estate counsel with 84 Lumber. We had a facility here in 2008, 2009 timeframe, and we had to pull out due to the collapse in the housing market. Thankfully, our fortunes have reversed, and we're pleased to have expansion plans now and to be able to come back into Frederick County, into Winchester. Frank mentioned that we're going to be bringing jobs with us if our plan is approved, and we anticipate having in the neighborhood of 65 to 70 full-time jobs that come with benefits and also pay an average wage of around $31,800 a year. So they're good-paying, stable jobs with benefits, which would definitely benefit your community. We would, welcome the opportunity to come back in with our truss manufacturing plant, and thank you for the opportunity to speak with you here tonight.
Yes, thank you. Any questions?
I have one.
Yes.
Since you would be able to open up a store here again, are you planning on bringing the store back to Winchester in the future, or just manufacturing trusses here?
I think right now we are looking at just manufacturing trusses.
Thank you.
Are you manufacturing trusses basically for local, or will they be shipped in other areas?
Through many different areas, wherever the residential housing, commercial housing is. It's, there's a lot of business here. And, we certainly think that we can be a big part of that.
Anyone else? Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak to us about this application? Well, seeing none, we will close the public hearing. Comments?
Madam Chair.
I do know that this is not a permitted use. However, I believe that they have sufficiently proffered to minimize the impacts. It is generally consistent with the previous use. I think it's an appropriate use for this 10-acre parcel, and I'm glad to see them back here also. I would just like to ditto that. I'm very much in favor of them coming here, and I'd love to bring 70 more jobs to Frederick County, and I think it does kind of duplicate what was there. I'll make a motion for approval, or recommend approval.
Second.
Second. All in favor? Oh, excuse me, let's vote. We'll start with Mr. Moan.
Moan, yes.
Dunlap, yes.
Triplett, yes.
Kenny, yes.
Holden, yes.
Thomas, yes.
Oates, yes.
Manuel, yes.
Ambrosi, yes.
Marston, yes.
And the chair votes yes. Thank you very much. At the Board of Supervisors on April the 13th. Thank you.
What's this about?
Mr. Ruddy.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, members of the Planning Commission. This evening, I put in front of you a memo regarding the Planning Commission retreat. At our last meeting, we had given you some indication of when that would be, but I wanted to make sure we confirmed those details with the Planning Commission, but also kind of open the floor for any input that you may want to provide in the agendas. We're in the middle of constructing that agenda and working out the program. So the details are that it will be on Wednesday, April 20th, here in this room. We'll start at 6 o'clock and hopefully conclude by 9. We'll provide food for everybody, so something to look forward to amongst all of the good discussion that we will have. If you do have any thoughts or comments on items that you want to see included in the agenda, then please let us know. I'll follow up tonight's meeting with an email containing the same information that you got in the memo, so you can easily respond to that with some points, some topics, some input. You're certainly more than welcome to write it, scratch it on there right now, and pass it over to staff. But any input you have would be great. Preliminarily, we're looking at a few topics, including the 2035 Comprehensive Plan Update, a very significant item that the Planning Commission has been involved with and will continue to be involved with this year. We're looking at conditional use permits, rezonings, and some changes that have occurred in the legislation this year that will be involved with next year with rezoning applications. And also potential there for some discussion on the Planning Commission Board of Supervisors projects that the Planning Commission may be involved with that then move on to the Board of Supervisors, and how we can make that process work as good as it can do. And finally, we're looking to do something related to transportation and some news on transportation issues that have been changing here in recent years in the county. Some general ideas of preliminary topics. Again, we're seeking input of the Planning Commission, not necessarily right now, but again, we hope to get any information and any input that you want to provide.
I agree. It's our time, and we can ask questions and ponder things, and I hope you will respond to Mike's request. Yes, Mr. Oates.
What about the Kernstown land use plan? Are we going to roll that over to the 2035 comp plan, or?
There's the potential for that, of course, that with the comprehensive plan update, that's a key area plan. And so as we continue to work with the Board of Supervisors on updating the comprehensive plan in the future, that's going to be a topic of discussion and hopefully a component of that.
Thank you.
Mike, would it be appropriate to invite certain stakeholders, such as representatives from certain committees or especially sanitation authority to this retreat?
It certainly would be, and I think once we finalize the actual topics, then we may have a greater idea of that involvement. So I think is the Planning Commission's retreat work session, in essence. Of course, we always encourage the Board of Supervisor members to participate if they can. In years past, Sanitation Authority, School Board have been involved, again, generally revolving around a particular topic that we've been working on with them. But we certainly can open it up to other key stakeholders if we can identify those folks.
So please look forward to our time together and throw out some ideas. I know that I'm not trying to point anything out, but we had a time of it with a conditional use permit, not more than our meeting ago. And we thought maybe it's about time that we put that on the list of things to look at. So just keep on coming with good ideas.
Yep.
You ready for that, Mike?
Certainly are. And enjoy the Saturday that it won't take up.
We'll do, well, we will.
Thank you.
Spring day. Thank you. We are at the end of our agenda. Is there anything else that anyone else would like to add or suggest? What?
Do you have plans for the next meeting, or?
Oh, yeah, Mike, are we having a meeting on the, no, we're not.
Yeah, we are.
Doc?
items on the agenda.
Okay.
Oh, is it? Okay. I haven't even seen it then.
Alrighty.
Move for adjournment.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Thank you all for being here.